She's turning 23 and she's graduating college. I just want to surprise her.
So, no, I'm not going to get a job.
Hi, friend. These buy now, pay later apps have changed my life for the better.
It's another episode of Emotions First, Math Later. Yeah, it's going to be one of those.
If you were interested in that Chevy Corvette that we just posted yesterday.
Is that the one with the red seats?
Yeah, the white one with the red seats with the target top and everything.
I am interested. It's a planned gift for my girlfriend.
You're going to get her a Corvette, huh?
She's turning 23 and she's graduating college. I just want to surprise her. The business is going good for me right now, so why not? She said that was the car of her dreams.
I can think of a couple reasons not to. If you break up, the payment doesn't stop. You're funding a lifestyle that isn't yours. The money could be building your own assets. And you're increasing your monthly expenses for someone else. And there's a lot more.
We'd love to help you out with that. We could even arrange a delivery if you were planning to do like a surprise party. But before we do that, it'd be a better idea for you to come out here and check the car in person, because it is a used car at the end of the day. Just make sure you take it out for a test drive, make sure it's going to be something that she likes. It looks like you're wanting to finance, right?
Finance would be perfect.
Were you looking to put any money down at all? Or are you just looking to finance the whole thing?
I was thinking some money down, maybe 10K, 12K would be realistically good for me.
As far as your credit, I'm guessing your credit should be pretty good.
The last time I checked, it was around 750.
I guess at this point, it's just going to be you coming out here and make sure the Corvette's right for you and make sure it's going to be something that your girlfriend likes.
Yeah, no, awesome.
The biggest problem is the relationship might be temporary. The loan's going to be there for a long time. You're locking yourself into years of payments for something that doesn't help you build your future. And if things don't work out, you're still going to be making the payments, you're still carrying the insurance, and you're still absorbing the financial hit.
So there's 2 repossessions.
Well, one was my daughter. I only have one. I don't have much, and I do need another vehicle.
What are you working with as far as cash down?
I have like 500. Would the 500 help me or no?
Of course, yeah. Down payment's always going to help you, love. So people who are coming in with situations where they have, a repossession, a bankruptcy, things of that nature, hard judgments on the credit, there are lenders who will give you a second chance at a loan. There are places that can get you approved, but you have to just meet minimum qualifications. You got to be working, right? You got to have an ID or a license and be able to put some cash down. What kind of car would you say you're shopping for?
I'm looking for an SUV.
I'm sending you a text message now. I'm going to send you my address as well. All you got to do is just shoot me a message back and say, hey, I'm going to make my way in now, or hey, I'm on the way, and then I'll know to make space for you, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime.
If you can only put $500 down on a car, you're not ready to finance one. That's not judgment, that's just math. If you don't have a few $1,000s saved, how are you going to handle repairs, an insurance increase, or a missed paycheck? If $500 empties your account, you cannot afford a car.
I have a 2024 Ford Escape Active, and it's got 77 clicks on it, 77,000. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm looking to sell it or trade it in. I just don't know where to start.
No problem at all. I guess the first question is, what are you looking at getting into?
Something smaller.
Okay.
Like that.
No problem.
Yeah.
And so more my curiosity than anything else, like what are you finding too big about the Escape?
It's just not my favorite right now. Like I got it just because I had to.
Okay.
Trading in a car because it's not your favorite. That's how people stay in car payments forever. Cars aren't outfits, you don't swap them out because your mood changed. Every time you trade, you eat the depreciation. You reset the loan, you stretch the terms, you lose more money. Not my favorite can be very expensive.
How long ago did you get it?
January 7.
Okay, so you just got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you financing?
I am, yes.
Okay. So the first step would be, I'd love to get you to come in, and that way we could have a look at your vehicle and give you an idea of what your vehicle's worth as a trade.
Okay.
And then kind of figure out what we can get you into. Most important thing would be having a look, because there is going to be some negative equity.
If you trade in a car just because it's not your favorite, there's a very good chance that you're walking straight into negative equity. So if you financed recently, you probably owe more than it's worth. It's usually thousands gone, all because it wasn't your favorite anymore.
Did you put money down, or did you have a trade-in when you traded in?
I had a trade-in.
Okay. And do you know if there was negative equity on the previous loan, or did you have equity?
I had equity. There was no negative equity, no.
Okay. So you didn't owe any money on the previous loan, you just traded this one for that one?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we would want to have a look at what your vehicle's worth. And then we would compare that to what you borrowed from the bank.
Okay.
And then that way we then get kind of a baseline so that we could start building payments and options on other vehicles.
There are a lot of things I don't like about my car. It's too small, or I'm too big, I'm not sure which one. A manual transmission in the city is very annoying. The interior feels cheap. It wears a lot faster than I'd like. I could trade it in, but the next car will have things I don't like too. And switching will probably cost me thousands. For what? The car I have does exactly what it's supposed to do. It gets me around safely, and it doesn't cost much.
Hi, friend. These buy now, pay later apps have changed my life for the better. When these traditional loans told me no, these buy now, pay later apps told me yes. I done had anywhere between $500 to $4,000 with these buy now, pay later apps. The more I use them, the more money they give me. I see so many people on these apps saying, I don't have enough money to pay my rent. I can't pay my mortgage. I can't pay this. I can't pay that. Baby, listen. When it comes to these apps, you can get a money order to pay your rent, your mortgage. You can get a gift card, convert that gift card into a money order.
I find this woman's TikTok videos so interesting because they have to be the worst financial advice I've ever seen. And I'm not saying that to make fun of her, but paying your rent by borrowing from a buy now, pay now app, that's not paying your rent. You just owe someone else.
Baby, and not even that, you ain't even got to go that far. I don't use these apps to go out to eat. I done went to the nail shop. I done went to the clothing store. I done did any and everything I needed to do with these apps. So there's no excuse for y'all to be on these apps talking about I'm broke. Baby, you better make a way out of no way. You better rob Peter to pay Paul. So I want to know your experience with these apps. I want to know your favorite app. And I want to know how these apps was able to change your life.
Those apps can absolutely change your life, just not in a good way. It actually makes you more broke because you owe the money back with interest. They're not there to help you. They're there to make money off you. And the easier they make it to borrow, the more it usually costs.
Now, I don't come out here telling y'all to go into debt, but I want y'all to know, like, you have something to depend on. I'm not finna call Keisha and ask her, can I borrow some money? Just for her to ask me, like, don't you work? Why you don't have no money? Don't you have a man? Don't you have this? Like, no, baby, I can download this app and they're gonna give me $500 off top. Most of them, not all of them, okay? But anywho, let me know in the comments, okay, friend? Bye, friend. I'll call you back later.
If you're constantly thinking about what you can finance instead of what you can save, you're doing it backwards. When you save money, you give yourself options. When you borrow money, you lock yourself into payments. The more you save, the more control you have. The more you borrow, the more control the lender has.
How much debt do you have?
I think around 40,000.
Okay, it's rounded up about 50. How do you not know? How do you not know? You said you're trying to take care of this. Aren't you supposed to be a responsible single mother, or are you just throwing it all away?
I thought it was 40.
Okay, well,
I must be missing something.
It's technically in the 40s, but it's basically 50. Why are you so off?
I don't know.
What's that, like off by 20%, 10%?
If you don't know how much debt you have, that's a problem. You should know the number. Not around this, not I think, the actual number. Because if you don't know the number, you're probably not taking it seriously. And the debt you don't take seriously tends to stick around for a long time.
Something like that?
Yeah, that was pretty off.
Yeah, why? Why do you not know your financial situation at all?
Well,
because you have a dependent. You're not like a single person with nothing, no responsibilities, nothing, just around having some fun. Doesn't matter to me. You literally have a 5-year-old. You don't get the fuck around. It is your responsibility. You do not have that choice anymore.
I mean, I tried to budget.
What have you tried? Where's your try? Tell me your try. I haven't seen try. Where's the try? You tried to budget? Cool. Tell me how much went out last month.
Budgeting isn't complicated. It's basic math. What comes in, what goes out, what's left, that's it. If more is going out than coming in, that's a problem. If nothing is left over, that's a problem.
I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says. I'm not getting a job. I'm not doing it. And everybody keeps telling me to get a job. I'm not getting a job. I already said this before. Why you don't have to keep telling me this, Mom.
What's gonna happen when I leave this world?
You ain't leaving anytime soon.
How do you know that?
And if you do, I'll find somebody else to use.
What the heck? Wow. Bye, Felicia.
I just had to throw this in when I came across it. If you refuse to get a job, you're choosing to stay behind. You don't get to complain about money, stress, or limitations when you're actively avoiding the one thing that fixes it. Income doesn't solve all your problems, but it does solve quite a few.
Someone asked me, how could I become a burden on my mom like that if she's working overnights and I'm doing nothing? I didn't ask to be brought here. I didn't. She brought me here, so ain't that what you're supposed to do as a mother? Ain't you supposed to take care of your kids? So no, I'm not going to get a job. Never ever will I get a job. I have a mother that works overnights. She makes enough to put food in the house. She makes enough to make sure the bills and the rent is paid. I don't have to worry about that stuff. So y'all can mind a business that pays you. Thank you.
If this was my kid and I came across a video, she'd have 30 days to find a job. She'd be paying rent and buying her own food, or she'd be out. Not being able to find a job is one thing. Refusing to find one is entirely different.
Way more people are in credit card debt than you can even fathom. And I'm talking large amounts of debt. Next time you feel really bad about not being able to attend a festival or have some sort of experience or have a luxury item because you don't have the money, just remember that most of these people that you know are borrowing money to get it, okay?
Most people are in debt, not a little debt either. Car payments, credit cards, lines of credit. Something hanging over them every single month. Just because most people owe money doesn't mean you should be comfortable owing it too.
Once upon a time in college, I lived in this huge shared living situation, which was a total fucking nightmare, okay? There were like 1 million people in the house, and I'm not even exaggerating. And there was this one girl I lived with that would literally travel out of the country to go to concerts multiple times a month, and she would like always get barricade, and she always had these huge shopping hauls and generally like really expensive beauty products and clothes, and like it was actually insane. And I remember moving in and thinking like, how is she affording this shit? Like specifically all the international flights and concerts, and sometimes there wasn't even a concert. She would just be like, I'm gonna go to Europe for a few days. And I was like, okay. But then other people in the house informed me that like she was actually in $30,000 of credit card debt and she just didn't give a fuck. And one time I talked to her about it and she was like, my parents have declared bankruptcy 5 times. Like, money isn't real. I was like, okay, bro.
Just because your parents filed for bankruptcy doesn't mean money isn't real. If money wasn't real, you wouldn't need a bankruptcy to deal with it. Your parents filing bankruptcy multiple times doesn't make money fake. It shows what happens when it's ignored.
I forgot to add that one time people from the local court or one of the local courts pulled up in the parking lot of our house and served her these papers because Discover, like the credit card company Discover, was going after her for all this money she owed that she hadn't paid back like months ago. And I remember talking to her about this money because she would bring it up frequently, like in the house when I was like cooking in the kitchen or whatever, being like, yeah, it was like $1,200 or it was $2,000. Like the number would vary, like who fucking knows what the real number was. Like whatever she said, it was probably triple that, so like who really knows. But she's like, but they're a big company, like they'll just eat the cost. I'm like, no, they're gonna get you. And they did in fact get her, and they started like garnishing her wages and shit. Like it was actually crazy.
If it's not real, then why did a company come after the wages? They don't garnish an imaginary income. They don't send letters over fake balances. If money wasn't real, they wouldn't be able to take it, but they did, which means it's real enough when it's time to collect.
Earlier this year I filed for bankruptcy, and I wasn't going to share this, but so many folks are struggling right now, and I think it's just important that I be transparent. And so let me tell you all what happened. I had $138,526.12 worth of debt. Take away the student loans, I had $93,014.14. If we break that into credit cards and personal loans, $41,789 in credit cards, $29,606 in personal loans, for a grand total of $71,395. The rest of that, I know there's like a $22,000 gap there. Car note, a couple of medical bills sprinkled in there too, but that is the bulk of the debt I was carrying.
You can keep taking on debt for a while, but there is a point where it catches up. Payments get tight, credit dries up, stress goes up. And if you keep pushing it, eventually the only way out isn't another loan. It's bankruptcy.
When I first had to examine these things for the court, it was hard to look at. I felt like a failure. And to be honest, I did fail, right? At 24, I was making a lot of money, but I was spending it just as fast. I was trying to live the fast life. I was trying to be impressive with money because I was overcompensating for being enough. I didn't feel like I was enough as a person. And so I figured if I have money, whatever. Money is not my strong suit, so I'm going to learn with you all publicly, put parameters in place to not ever have this happen again.
At some point, you have to learn how money works. Nobody's coming to manage it for you. If you don't understand interest, debt, credit, budgeting, all you're doing is reacting. And reacting can be expensive. You don't have to be a financial expert, but you should know the basics. The information is there. Most people just ignore it. If you want to see more, you know what to do. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.